My name's Alexis.
And I'm Alexis.
Welcome back to Functional Fridays with Power for Parkinson's.
Functional Friday, yeah.
So today we're going to talk all about assistive technology and adaptive equipment. So we're both OT students, so one of our biggest roles is to educate our patients, our clients, about adaptive equipment that can help them maximize their independence. So on the floor here, we have different adaptive equipment that we can introduce. So we'll start with this. This is a reacher. Now this can be demonstrated in many ways. People like to use it just to pick up things that are far away. So I can pick up this shoe right here and bring it closer to me. That way I'm not reaching forward and you're more likely to fall. Or what I like to explain to my patients, like in a hospital setting, I can use it to help them thread their legs through their pants. That way, again, they're not bending forward. The next one is a sock aid. So I can actually use a reacher to pick up this sock aid instead of bending forward. So this is a sock aid, and it's pretty self-explanatory. It helps you put on your socks more easier. So I'm going to explain how to do it. So what you're going to need is a sock, and of course the sock aid. So you're going to take your sock and you're going to fit it over this little barrel. So just like this. And you're going to want to shimmy it all the way up. It's also important to note you want to make sure it's going in the right direction as you would want to put on your sock. So if you put it on a little crooked, when you go to pull up the sock aid, your sock is going to be a little crooked. So I made sure it's on the way I want it, and you're going to make sure you can pull it all the way up, but not past these little notches right here. These are what's going to help you pull up the sock aid. Alright, so once you have your sock on, you're going to take this barrel and you're going to lower it to the ground. I like to tell my patients to make sure it's flat on the ground so it's easier to slide your foot in. So you're going to slide your foot into the little barrel. Make sure it's all the way in. You can either bring your foot a little closer to you if you would like, and you're going to use it and you're going to pull up and it's going to be on. Now my sock is a little smaller than the sock aid, so it's not going to go up all the way. So that's another important note to make sure that you have the correct size sock aid. Next one is called a shoehorn. I think we're all familiar with the shoehorn, but it helps you put on your shoes. So I have my shoe here, and you want to make sure, of course, your laces are untied so it's easier for your foot to slide in. So you're going to take your shoehorn, you're going to put it at the edge of the heel of your shoe. Then you're going to take your foot, and I like to put the ball of my heel right on this slide part, so it helps me slide all the way in. It would also help if I put on my shoe on the right foot, right? Okay. And I like to slide it in just like that. Now my foot's in, you can take out your shoehorn and tie your shoe. The next one is called a dressing stick. This is a dressing stick. So this can be used in two ways. So the way I like to use it is I like to help people get undressed from the lower body. This can also be used for upper body dressing, which Alexis will show you next. So what I like to tell people is to take the small hook right here and hook it to your pants. Just like that. And you're going to use it to pull down, right? Then you take it on the other side, hook it to the side, pull down, and it helps bring your pants all the way down. That way you're not leaning forward, which could cause you to fall, and we don't want that.
Alrighty, so for upper body dressing, I got a jacket here for a demonstration. Typically, you mind holding this real quick? We're going to get the jacket halfway on, and I'm going to thread it through, make sure it's over my shoulder. Now, instead, if I didn't have the range of motion to reach back there, and I would be having a really hard time, I can use a dressing stick and kind of use it back there to kind of hook onto the sleeve or the jacket itself and bring it over my shoulder. So now that it's here in front of me, I don't have to reach behind me, I can just pull and thread my arm through. Alrighty. Then it makes getting that jacket on, you don't have to struggle reaching behind you, and it makes it real easy. One last adaptive equipment I want to highlight is the no-tie shoelaces. So I know Alexis talked about the shoehorn and getting our shoelaces on, but if you don't have the fine motor control to tie your shoelaces, now I hate tying my shoes, so these are really great for me. I have one example on one of my shoes right here. These ones have little bumps that don't loosen up the shoes. So they're stretchy enough where it'll give you space to put your foot in, but they're tight enough where they won't completely unravel. So with these, you can cut them to make them shorter, or you can just tuck them in, and then you can just have your shoe on, and it makes it a lot easier. You can totally skip the step of tying your shoes. Another good brand is these lock laces, where they have a piece of plastic a button that you can kind of loosen your shoes or tighten them as needed, and you just tuck them into your front laces. So it makes it incredibly easy. You don't have to spend the time tying your shoes, and you got something that's a little bit cuter than maybe some strap laces that if you don't like that style. Alrighty, so thank you for listening to us. Tune in for part 2 as we talk about some great apps and more assistive equipment you can use. Bye.